And away we go. It is the Nightcap. Brought to you by, well, nobody right now. Let's just, I like to keep everything open and honest with everybody. Let's talk about it for a second. Galactic Fried Chicken is moving into, after 2 years as the title sponsor of this show, moving into a little different role as we head into the next football season. So title sponsorship for this show, it's open and available. So send me a DM, send me a message, and we work it out. Galactic, make no mistake, Galactic is not going away. They are still a partner with Bearcat Journal. Just sometimes in marketing, a marketing campaign runs its course and you work on a new marketing campaign. And that's kind of where things are at with Galactic. They will still be around and voice. It's starting to feel better, but still every once in a while it gives me a little.
It's like puberty all over again.
Right. But they are moving into a different role. So this role is open. If you know of anybody, if you run a business, if you have friends that run a business, if you know anybody that would be interested in advertising to a large section of Bearcat fans every day, have them email me, lastname.firstname@gmail.com.
At least 5 times a week, not necessarily every day. We do take days off.
Most every day. A majority of the days. How about that? A majority of the days.
Almost all of the days.
Yeah, most of the days. Hit me up. We are looking for a title sponsor for the show. Obviously, it has to be the right fit, but we are interested in hearing from you. So looking forward to working with new partners. And like I said, Galactic is still on board. We will still be working with them as we get into football season. But now's a great time to jump on board. You get in for July. Guess what? You get a lot in August. You get a lot of football camp stuff that people are very interested in. And then you get the football season and the basketball season and all of that good stuff. So my DMs are open. My messages are open on Bearcat Journal. So reach out. Let me know. Let's get this show rolling. It's been a while. Sorry for that. Aaron had a baby. I had to go to nationals with Kelsey. And then I came home from nationals. I couldn't talk. So we wanted to get back in the swing of things a couple days ago. I think my voice is, I think my voice is in a much better place now. It's not 100%, but I go like 83%. My voice is now.
You're not topping out on the audio, so we're good.
Right. I've asked Kelsey, would you rather me stay like this?
Yes.
Or I just a little bit less, like the volume's just down a little bit as opposed to where I normally am. I would like to have my voice fully back, but
that makes one of us. There it is.
That's always been the case. All right, let's get rolling. Bearcats get a commitment today from defensive back Jordan Woods out of Cartersville, Georgia, a place that I am familiar with as I make a lot of trips there for basketball recruiting. But Aaron, a 6'3", 175 defensive back. How happy are you?
I asked for this yesterday.
You did.
I put it on my wish list.
You had a wish list. Jordan Woods was on it, and here he is.
He didn't even know it. But I'm excited. Truthfully, we'll see if he ends up translating into a corner or a safety. But regardless, he is the prototypical defensive back that I would like to see Cincinnati hone in on. And he had quite a few suitors.
He did. I know Virginia was very much in the mix there. A couple ACC schools, Boston Michigan College, State. Michigan State. Yeah. So this is a good one. This is a guy that committed or visited officially in the first week of visitors. So to have him circle back around after going on his other official visits, a big one. He's a top 100 player in Georgia. Anytime you can get a top 100 player out of Georgia, you're getting a kid with a considerable level of talent. So good job on the coaching staff. He had a lot of good things to say to Keegan about Tyson Vite and the relationship he has built with him. Kids seem to love Tyson Vite. We love Tyson Vite.
Love Tyson Vite. Why wouldn't kids love Tyson Vite? He's high energy. He's a dude who he's no bullshit. That's not one of the things in his arsenal.
Right.
So I feel like the staff largely is that, truthfully, at this point in time. And they're putting all their cards on the table because we know what last season was. You can help us. You can help us. We see you as a fit here where we sucked.
Yeah, we weren't good. Got to get better. We think you can make us better. So congratulations to him. That was a fun one because we had been in communication back and forth with multiple sources on the local and national level, and everything indicated that he was going to commit on Thursday or Friday. So we were preparing for Thursday or Friday, and then just randomly, poof. Oh, Tuesday. We meant Tuesday. It was the day that ended in Y. It just wasn't the day that everybody thought it was. Kudos to the kid. He probably just got excited and was like, look, I'm not waiting until, like, I need to tell some people. I'm not waiting until Thursday or Friday. Let's do this. So,
I love that. Yeah. He becomes the 16th player in this class. Class is shaping up to be a top 45, top 50 class at this point in time, which truthfully, after everything you went through last season, that's nothing to be ashamed with. And
right.
As the staff likes to point out all the time, tape means more than stars.
Yeah. And this could composite 86. So right about in line with where the average is. And 6'3" defensive back. Like, look, I'm still a Marcus Freeman philosophy guy.
Give me
go get all of them.
All of them.
6'1" to 6'3", 170, 180 pounds. Get all of them you can get because it's a ball of clay and you don't know where exactly it's going to end up when you get them, with Nico and everybody involved. So yeah, other NCAA stuff, housekeeping stuff that just came through today. I was with Kelsey at Aaron. We're already back in club volleyball season. Like it just ended a week and a half ago, right? A week ago. We got home a week ago tomorrow. And it has already started back up. She had her first camp of the off season tonight. So I was there. So enlighten us on what's going on with the NCAA.
Not jealous of any and all of that. But in any case, Division I, in NCAA Division I, removed some restrictions on countable coaches in football. Essentially, you can have infinity coaches now.
Yeah. So all of those, essentially all those analysts, all the, the guys supposed to be working behind the scenes, they're now allowed to be on the field coaching. So it's not going to change a whole lot. It's just going to allow the guys that you've already hired to be on the field and working with players more frequently. And guess what? They all did that anyway.
I'm more interested to see if this also translates to basketball. Truthfully, I wonder if this is that much closer to basketball to where
they've expanded to 5 in basketball. I don't know that. How many more basketball coaches do you need at practice?
If you got a guy on staff though that has done something that isn't allowed because he's in a different role, in a more administrative role, but wants to also be part of practice, I think that maybe this is opening that door. But
again, they did that already because it used to be 3, and now they expanded it to 5, which means guys that were in those roles that you're talking about are now allowed to be on the court.
It's just interesting to me. I don't know. I'd like to see to where we're not worried about those types of things. Obviously, this puts the teams that have a lot of money invested in these types of players largely your SEC and Big Ten schools more so than anybody at this point in time. But we'll see with the reallocation of money and where some of those things are going. We'll see what that means for the Alabamas and the Ohio States of the world, where maybe they're not able to afford some of those things because now you have $30 million that's going to student athletes as opposed to
they can still afford whatever they want. But what this effectively is going to create, Aaron, I think, my personal opinion, this is just Chad speaking out loud, is you are going to now have an assistant coach for every position coach, which has kind of already been done in the form of either GAs or these off the field analysts that are left breaking down tape for the head coach. Like, you know, that you bring a young guy in, he breaks down the tape and then gives it to the guy, the position coach. And then when they have meetings the next day, life becomes a little easier for the position coach. I think what you're going to see is all of those 10 assistants are now going to have, a guy that's assigned to their group, they're full-time, that's going to be able to be on the field and help coaching. Where it gets interesting is, you know, does your DC and OC get like 2 guys? Like, do you have a guy that's working directly under your offensive coordinator that is there to kind of like deal with, you know, analytics and, you know, all the other things that go into it now? And also, how much of that will be recruiting based, where you have a recruiting guy for every position that works in unison with the position coach and the recruiting department as like the, you know, an additional layer. So that's a couple ways in football that I can see it going.
Some other news coming out of, did they have a conference or something where they were?
Yeah, it was like a D1 like rules committee meeting.
There were lots of rules things that came out today. D1 Council also introduced proposals to change the transfer windows in basketball and football from 45 to 30 days, with a vote expected to occur in October.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't need to be a month and a half. It doesn't need to be 2 months. Like, if you want to get in the portal, get in the portal.
Well, data from the first 2 years of transfer windows indicated that the majority of transfers enter the portal during the first 4 weeks of the windows anyway.
Yeah. And the guys that are left usually are reactionary guys, right? Like, oh shit, my school recruited over me.
Trying to plug holes, yeah.
Yeah. Like, oh, like I'm not going to play, so I better get in the portal and go find somewhere to play. Or what we have seen, which is shit, we missed on a bunch of guys in the transfer portal, and now there's a week left, and we better get as many guys at the position we need into the portal so that we can pick which one we want to come to our school. So 15 days, 30 days, like 30 days, I think is probably about right. If it was 15, I still wouldn't. Like, are you going in the portal or not?
Figure it out.
Yeah.
Got a month is plenty of time to figure that out.
Right. Nobody gave me a month to make life decisions. Like, get that shit figured out by tomorrow, sir. Okay.
Touching that conversation. Also, D1 Council votes to remove cannabinoids from banned drug class for championships and postseason participation in football. Decision not final until meeting concludes Wednesday. Cannabinoids will be addressed like other non-performance enhancing drugs like alcohol. NCAA members will focus on harm reduction strategies, problematic cannabis use, centering health of student athletes.
Aaron, this means that 20-year-olds might start using the weed.
Well, I mean, in many states, you're actually allowed.
But 20-year-olds might start using the weed.
I think you missed what I just said.
No, I'm short. Guess what? They're already using the weed.
It's that short-term memory loss.
They're already using the weed.
We all went to college.
Drinking a lot of cranberry juice.
Or we were at least, if you didn't go to college, many of us were at least in our 20s.
Late teens, early 20s, all existed for some of us. Some of us, it lasted a little longer than others, but it is what it is.
Still there.
Look at you, you long-haired hippie.
I got Peter Pan syndrome. It's fine.
If they only knew. If they only knew. Yeah. Yeah, sure.
That's the big news. Outside of that, local news, there were some promotions here at Cincinnati that
two guys near and dear to our hearts.
They're friends of Bearcat Journal for sure. So huge shout outs to Ben Hofstetter and Zach Stipe on your promotions.
Yeah. Love both of those guys. They are two of my favorites in the athletic department. I will tell you guys this straight up. You saw remember when we did the subathon, you and I, and it was chaos? Remember when we did 513 Day? It was very well organized.
There was a lot of reasons for that, but the biggest,
mainly Zach Stipe.
That's the biggest of those reasons. Also, having boots on the ground did not hurt.
Right. But those two guys are near and dear to our hearts. Have I told them? I think I've told the Hofstetter.
I don't think you've told any stories of Zach Stipe or Hofstetter on this channel, so feel free.
You want to hear my favorite Hofstetter story?
Well, I think I've heard that one. I don't know if you can tell that one on air.
This one I can tell on air.
All right.
Kelsey was in first grade, either first or second grade. And Ben Hofstetter's sister was her art teacher and was one of the drop off, like when you drop your kids off, parents. Like when you
wearing a vest.
So we walked because we lived like 3/4 of a block from the school. So we would walk, and I would walk Kelsey past the drop off area. So I would see Ben Hofstetter's sister every day.
Okay.
And at the time, Ben was working in the president's office. He wasn't working in the athletic department, but I knew who he was. Like, I had an understanding. She had brought up, like, oh, you cover UC. My husband works in the president's office. This was at the time of the Big 12 flirtation, the first one that didn't go well.
You mean
I'm walking
the printed gift wrap?
Right. So this is the day of the presentation that UC presented at the Big 12. Ben had a kid like 2 days before this meeting.
So he's in a whole different world of mindset.
Right? So I'm walking Kelsey to school, and Ben's sister is at her normal spot at the drop-off area. And I'm like, hey, how's it going? And she's like, oh, I'm tired. Ben's new baby had to sleep at our house last night because he had some meeting or something in Dallas.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, my gosh.
And I'm like, okay, Kelsey, you gotta go to school. Ken's got to go home. But okay, yeah. She's like, but you walked me all the way. I'm like, not today, honey, not today. You know the rest of the way. I'll talk to you when you get out of school. So she leaked that the support staff was all in Dallas making their presentation to the Big 12 by telling me that Ben's baby was at her house while Ben was on a plane to Dallas. And I still give him a hard time about that all these years later. But it was just one of those things that at that point in time, like, we were still building this thing. And it was like, that only happens to me. Like, that's the luck of how all of this has gone, that the assistant to the president's sister accidentally tells me something that I had no business, that everybody was working to keep from me. She just spilled it. It was really funny.
It also doesn't happen to anybody else because most of us live on the good side of the river. So
throw up the really.
I can't actually I can't just make a joke and throw up the overlay because we don't have an overlay because we don't have a sponsor. So hurry up and get a hold of Chad so we got a sponsor on this show so I can make my joke, throw up the overlay, and be done with the show.
We'll see you next time. That is the Nightcap, brought to you by potentially you. And we're going to do this bit until we get a sponsor. So somebody sponsor us right here on BearcatJournal.com.
Not going to do it twice. You're welcome.